host of the Voice of Zion. We here again. We here again. Look, y'all. I hope y'all are doing well. I hope y'all are doing blessed. I hope y'all are moving with purpose out here. Okay. I hope y'all are moving with purpose. Real talk. Thank y'all for. Wow, I'm seeing them likes already. Thumbs ups. Yeah. So because I know y'all are expecting a good word from me, and I know I got something I got to tell you. I'm gonna get out here and I'm just gonna say it. I'm gonna get out here and I'm gonna say it. Um, the distractions, y'all, it seemed to be the same. Ooh, it seemed to be the same thing going on over and over again as far as these distractions is concerned. And hindsight is always 2020. Hindsight is always 2020, y'all. It's amazing to me. Um, Yesterday was my wife's birthday. So, we wanted to do something special for her. We wanted to make sure that she was appreciated, that she was loved, that she knew that, that reassurance is very important. And I feel that reassurance is very important for our sisters, our queen sisters, it's very important in this day. There's so much propaganda, so much media um, that has been created to downplay the importance of our women. You know what I'm saying? And so when we could take a chance to honor the life the Most High blessed them with, and their power, their energy that they have been given as our divine counterparts, as our helpmates in this place. We want to go head on and celebrate them and show them that they are indeed the special beings that we know them to be and have claimed them to be. So while I was out yesterday, while we was out, the topic of the Hebrew to Negroes movie came up. And, there's something about that film and that documentary that I know a lot of us who have been in the truth, who have been walking in this truth, are very familiar with. It's a narrative that we have been led through the word to put together so that we can go to our families, so that we can go to our friends, so that we can go to our loved ones and share the truth. Each one of us have been dealing with this aspect of the reality that we live in for many years, some of us decades. Some of us have been dealing with this for literal decades. Some of us are just now getting into the truth. I saw a poll taken on YouTube the other day asking how many of you knew about this truth that we were Hebrew Israelites before Kyrie made the statement. And when I saw the results on the poll, it was about 99%. One or two voters didn't know about it at all, and one or two voters had heard about it, but didn't look deeper into it. But for the most part, the people who voted yes on knowing this information before it was brought today, in the last week or so, it was a high percentage. And so that let me know that people in our community, and I mean the greater expanse of Israelitism, are waking up who we are and have been awake for quite some time. Maybe the majority of us haven't been stirred to the point where we're absolutely fed up and are willing to leave the system of Babylon and the mindset of Babylon alone. But many of us are waking up to the truth at a phenomenal rate. So much so that things like Hebrew to Negroes at this point could be considered supplemental information. You know, we all don't have access to all of the historical records, but many of us who have been led on this walk have been able to put things together in such a magnificent way that we have forward for our people and for the Most High. And what I mean by that is, I couldn't tell you how much I personally invested into finding the truth. My bookshelf has anywhere from 6 to 7 Bibles, all different Bibles, concordances, um, multiple encyclopedia sets that I've been blessed to come across over the course of my study. I mean, these encyclopedias are encyclopedias authored before the 60s. You know, whenever we look at old books, we want to do our best to find books from the 60s or before, 1960 or before, because those books, they were written and authored before the civil rights movement and before affirmative action. Okay, and this is very important. If you notice when we were in school, if you were 80s, slowly but surely began to get rid of books that were there for such a long time. Books that you might not have paid attention to as a child. But as you begin to grow, your curiosity was sparked in these books, and then these books began to be taken away, primarily because there was a time in this country where our people weren't allowed to go into the libraries. Our people weren't allowed to sit in the same places as the children of those who authored the books, okay, that were on those shelves. So the powers that be, Brother Carlton Way, peace, brother. The powers that be, they felt as though as long as we weren't reading the books, they didn't have a reason to remove them. But it's only until we started being allowed to move into the same areas that their children were in that they began to realize if we're in the same libraries as their children, then we also have access to the books and to the history that their children had access to, which would give them a one up over our people at any given time. And so, what we began to see in the 70s, 80s, 90s, and especially the 2000s, especially when our people became more financially abundant, started placing our children in private schools. Okay, the private schools even began to remove the books from their libraries because that was their last stronghold. You know, the private schooling institutions were their last stronghold in being able to teach their children something that we weren't acclimated to. Okay? But once we started integrating into those schools, look, y'all, every time now I get on this live stream and I start live streaming the truth, we start having these nasty pornographic chat bots come up here and trying to throw us off. Okay, so I want y'all to pay attention to how the enemy is working. Okay, and if that type of distraction is on a live stream like this, I'm just going to kindly ask you all, yes, I'm going to kindly ask you all to please pay attention to what I'm saying and take note. Okay? This is a word that has been placed on my heart over the last day or so, and it's important that I get it out because of the connotation surrounding it. All right? So, as we've grown, I don't know if we've been paying attention to the removal of the books, but it started very systematically. So, the point is, many of us who've been walking in the truth have been dealing with books and literature that predates our existence into this realm. Okay. It's one thing to deal with new forms of information, revised forms of information, but it's another thing to be able to get your hands on original sources. Okay. What we call primary sources, sources that predate the removal or revision of books with high amounts of authorship and information in them, which we could then rely on to lead us deeper into the paths of truth that we need in order to bring some sort of sense to what's going on in regards to us. Okay. And one of the things that I was immediately led to on my young walk in this truth, see, back in 2007, when I was fully awakened, that's when everything began to come together for me. Okay. It was 2005. I never forget. Whenever Reggie Bush was playing, I think it was the Rose Bowl. I had a show that night. Okay, a brother kept looking at me. Remember when I told y'all this story? I was about 19 years old. Brother kept looking at me. I'm outside getting my mind right for this show I'm about to go perform at. But at the same time, the venue we was at, they was also pumping the game. Okay, so I'm outside. I'm doing my thing, and this brother keep looking at me. He keep looking my way. And I'm thinking he looking at the young tenders that's off in the parking lot off to the side of us. But as they walk in between us and they go inside to get ready for the show, all praises to the Father. That's right. They looking at as he looking past me, so I'm thinking he actually looking at me. Sisters walk by, they go inside. I still see bruh looking at me. So I'm like, hey family, what's good? What's to it? You know? He walk up to me, he say, it's all good, young brother. Look, I gotta tell you something. You an Israelite. He say, you an Israelite. And I say, what you mean? One of them Israelis? He like, no, 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 brother. I'm not talking about them people that's over in the land now. I'm talking about you are a child of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. And you need to do your work to figure out exactly what I'm saying. But you an Israelite. I never forget that. The brother had cornrows, everything. I never seen the brother again. But the image that he put on my mind and the seed that he planted has only grown since 2005. Now I need y'all to hear something. As I continue to walk in this path and I continue to make the decisions that I needed to make in order to remove myself from the throes of this Babylonian system, from the throes of this devilish and satanic mindset that I used to have. Black enlightenment. What it do, Queen Sister? Thank you for joining us today. I thank everybody for joining us today and taking a moment because there's some new revelations that have been placed onto my heart in regards to this whole Kyrie Hebrew to Negro situation. And if Shaq hadn't joined into this, if Shaquille O'Neal hadn't joined into this conversation, I wouldn't have been able to connect these dots. And I'm going to say some things that might be controversial and they might sound like I'm being a hater, but I promise you I'm not, y'all. I promise you I'm not being a hater, okay? I just want y'all to journey with me on this walk as you have been doing. And I'm going to probably plant some seeds on your mind to help you connect dots further. And at this point, it's about allowing the Ruach to guide us. It's about allowing that intuition, that gut feeling to really talk to us, okay? So this is the motivation. This is the motivation that I'm coming in right now. Now check this out. As I was out and about with the family yesterday, the Hebrew to Negro conversation was brought up. Okay. And I have to preface this dialogue with the fact that I've been on this walk. I've been acclimated into the idea since 2005, and I've been on the walk since 2007. Okay. I've dedicated my whole life to this walk. When it comes to trying to wake our people, now what I'm saying, y'all, when I say things like I've dedicated my whole life to this walk, that is not that's not to bring no glory to me. All praises to the Most High, okay? I have to say that because y'all know me. I'm quick to tell y'all the truth about me. There was a point in my life when I was straight hood, baby. I was out here wilding out, okay? I could be dead and gone right now. I do not have to be here in front of y'all right now, okay? So I need you to remember that aspect about me too. It is only by the grace and extreme and divine mercy that I'm here before y'all right now. So when you hear me say things like I've been walking on this walk as if it's my own doing, don't misconstrue my statements. Okay? I got to say that. I got to put all these disclaimers out. Because it's by the grace of the Most High that I'm before you today. When I could be at the strip club someplace, when I could be wilding out. And I'm not even saying that. It's like, if to say that's a place where I would rather be. I'm so happy to be here right now doing this work. But I have to preface this with saying that once I woke up, once that mercy and grace was extended to me, for me to realize that mercy and grace was extended to me, I had to stop everything that I was doing that was of the world. Okay. And I had to realize that, okay, on this walk, there are many people that I love and that I care for. So now I'm going to have to dedicate my life and play catch up. Play catch up. Them 19 years that I wasted, them 20 years that I wasted. Oh, I have to give it all back to the Most High now. And I have to figure out how to play catch up now. And I have to apply myself double time, triple time to this walk. That's what I'm talking about. And we all have an opportunity for that knock on the door, consciousness of our heart. But if we don't answer it, then we're going to be in problems. We're going to be in trouble. When we do answer it, we're going to feel this zeal come over our life. It's going to be this sense of excitement, nervousness, anxiousness, all in one. Because we realize, whoa, I haven't been using my life the right way, and I gotta play catch up now. Why am I saying this? 2007, I began to invest all of that alcohol money, all of that weed money, all of that clubbing money, all of that partying money into the walk. Okay? That meant that now I had to go and reinvest in books that actually mattered. I had to be led to places where they sold old books so that I can be moved to a place where I can arm myself with the truth and then retain that information with the blessed mind that I've been given. Because, as a rapper, as a lyricist, I got to be able to write what I write, and I have to be able to perform what I write in front of people. I have to be remember. I have to be able to recall what it is I'm talking about. But when I'm using it for the devil, oh, we see what's going on. Now I have to use it for the Most High. So all that retention ability is now applied to this walk. So I'm buying all of these books. I'm being led to encyclopedias. I'm being led to books, archaeological, historical books that I didn't even know nothing about. And I have to read these books, and then I have to retain the information so that I can have receipts to provide to the people who are just as lost as I was. Okay? I need y'all to really follow along with me on this. Okay. One of the first scriptures that I was led to on my walk as an awakened Hebrew Israelite man was Proverbs chapter 23, verse 23. Proverbs chapter 23, verse 23. What does that say? That scripture tells us, buy the truth and sell it not. Buy the truth and sell it not. Also, wisdom and instruction and understanding. When I first read that word, it really hit me hard. Buy the truth and sell it not. What does that mean? Well, in my life, it meant take a lot of my earnings, take a lot of my savings, take a lot of whatever I had set aside for carnal material things, and look into what it meant to buy the truth. Buy the books, invest in the writings, invest in the authorship that would help me deduce the proper understanding on who we are as a people, even if those books weren't necessarily written by our own. Because there's a group of people on this earth who, while we were deaf, dumb, and blind, knew exactly who we were and were exploiting us. And were taking advantage of the fact that we did not know who we were. Okay? I need y'all to really, really pay attention to that. So now we are in a place, yes, now we are in a place where we can fiscally afford purchase books of the old time that highlight who we are before a revision came in, before an update came in, before the book was canceled, before the book was taken off the shelves. We can be led to certain places where we can find this information. So buy the truth and sell it not. Also, wisdom and instruction. So when I began to walk in this truth, I began to create forms of information. I began to put my talents and my gifts together and use my talents and gifts in order to present the truth in different ways. My songs, my podcasts, my writing abilities. Okay, I began to put it out there in a way, excuse me, where I can make it available on many different platforms, through many different mediums. Okay. Oh, we taking it all back. We taking it all back. You correct. We taking it all back. And one of the things that I did and I realized was, because this truth is so new to our people, back in 2007, 2008, from a mass level, a lot of our people still aren't able to read. We have a lot of brothers and sisters who are incarcerated, more brothers than sisters, but still, a lot of our people are incarcerated. So I began to think about ways that I can present this truth, but I knew I wasn't going to charge for the truth. I knew that as the truth was given to me, an opportunity was provided to me to purchase the truth. As Proverbs chapter 23:23 says, it was up to me to take that truth in, retain it, and then represent it in a way where our people can understand and understand it. Okay? This is very important. Very important. As we begin to wake up, I realize that we are crucial point in history because the prophecy of the word tells us that as Jacob, Israel, who has been scattered to the four corners of the world, wakes up, it will be in conjunction with the world falling deeper and deeper into sin. It will be in conjunction with the world moving closer and closer to the time of the end. Okay? Our waking up is hand in hand with the return of the Most High. Okay? This is why we are at such a crucial time right now. But one thing that I recognize is that we are still being exploited. Our people have $1.6 trillion spending power right now. Okay? Since 2021. This is very important, y'all. We have never been at this place financially in this country where we have had so much financial power and did not know what to do with it. I need y'all to really pay attention. So now that we're at a place where we can finally buy the truth, where we can finally move to a point where we could even, some of us can afford the $5,000, $7,000 books that Amazon is selling in regards to our truth because now we are waking up. Those books that used to be $1,000, $500, $900, written in 1870, 1880, 1890 in regards to our people, are now $5,000, $6,000, $7,000. Okay? Some of us are in position to buy these books, and when we buy these books, we then study these books and then are able to present the truth that is in the pages of those books to help confirm the statements that we are making. Because some of our people want to be Israelites, but don't want to see, we are born Israelites. Some of our people want to be Israelites, but don't want to connect with the scriptures that detail and narrate that truth to us. So, because our people are hard headed, because our people are stiff necked, because our people are rebellious to the truth, we have to provide what we call receipts. And we have to go to other sources. And something about our people, when our people say it, we have such a hard time dissecting and ingesting and digesting the truth. But when the other nations say it, oh, we can listen. Oh, we can hear it. So we have to figure out what's really going on. Okay. And in order to do that, some of us have to separate ourselves from the rest of the sheep, from the rest of the masses, in order to do the due diligence it takes to bring it forth. And that's what I would like to think our brother Ronald Dalton did with his production, Hebrew to Negroes. That's what I would like to think other brothers who have dedicated their channels, their YouTube channels to the truth. That's what I would like to think has been done in order to help provide us with a sort of sibilance in regards to who we are. But yesterday, as I began to have a conversation with my wife about this Hebrew to Negroes, I could only think about how much work has been put in before that documentary was created. And it's almost to the point now where the men of Israel are saying the same things over and over and over and over. We've been saying this since we was on the plantation. We've been saying this since we've been saying kumbaya. Kumbaya means come by here, Yah. How did we learn that language when we wasn't even able to read and write? How did we know that language when the slave master was beating English and Spanish into us? We knew that because we have been able to maintain and retain a form of truth regarding to who we were, even when we was brought over here on them slave ships, even when we was out there in them rice paddies, even when we was chopping down them sugar cane, even when we was picking them cotton. This is very important. Understand? We had ancestors and ancestresses who always knew who we were and knew the reason why we were brought here. But as we continue to move forward, as we continue to grow as a people in this place of our captivity, as well as the places of captivity across the four corners of the world, we have to relearn ourselves because some of those elders were killed. You know how we say in our community, when an elder dies, it's like we lost a library. So many of our elders were killed. Many of our elders passed away, and many of the children of those elders were moved to a place of fear, moved to a place of self chastisement, in the sense that, oh, Big Mama and Big Papa was talking about, we have to suppress that. We have to keep that away from even our children because it can mean a matter of life or death. So as we're keeping the truth from our children, we don't know what tomorrow is going to bring. And then we end up getting taken out the game. And now our children are left to fend for themselves, spiritually and mentally. And as long as Massa is overseeing that process, Massa can introduce whatever Massa wants to introduce. And if our children, in order to survive, believe that narrative about themselves, then we have another 10, 20, 15, 30, 40, 50 years of lies, of blindness, of deafness, of dumbness. Okay? Now, what does this have to do with Hebrews to Negroes, the documentary? Well, yesterday, as I was out and about with the family, we began talking about the Hebrew to Negro documentary. Said, hey, maybe we should rent it. Should we rent that documentary? Should we watch that documentary as a family? Even though my family in particular knows about this truth and what we are talking about, okay, today. And we said, yeah, let's go pull it up on Amazon. I thought it was going to be for free. Now, I have to tell y'all right now, this is no knock. All right. This is where it could be construed as being haterism, but it's not. Just hear me out. That's why I started this with Proverbs chapter 23:23. Buy the truth and sell it not. Also, wisdom and instruction and understanding. Okay. So, as a man of Israel, the truth has been taken from me. Every from every step that I've taken, I've had to buy the truth. Even the Bible, I've had to buy the Bible many, many times. Many times. I have all sorts of different Bibles. Look, here go one Bible. Here go another Bible with the Hebrew names in it. Here go an Apocrypha. I had to buy all this. I didn't steal this stuff. I had to buy it. I had to make the decision. Am I going to buy the Chick-fil-A? Am I going to buy the Burger King? Or am I going to buy the Bible? Am I going to buy the Apocrypha? Am I going to buy the encyclopedia set? Am I going to buy that concordance? Am I going to buy the archaeological book that the whole book is talking about all sorts of things, but they got 5 pages dedicated to our people? Oh, I need that book. They know the truth. Oh, I need that book as a receipt. Somebody, somebody, Brother Carlton, wait, you see where I'm going with this. Why is it that when we went on to Amazon to buy the documentary, it was going to cost $49? It was either $39 or $49 to buy the documentary. And it was $19.99 to rent the documentary for 2 or 3 days. Now, who are the main people who need to know the truth about who we are? Us. It's us. Why is it that every time a black company comes along, we are the ones who are constantly financially exploited just in order for us to hear more about us or learn more about us? When you have a gang, a whole conglomerate of brothers and sisters who are getting out here every day, who have invested in the truth for themselves in order to represent that truth to our people for free. Many of us who are truly looking at the word of truth, remember, one of the very first scriptures I was led to as a young man is Proverbs chapter 23:23 in regards to our awakening. And I knew that any financial increase I was going to receive was going to have to come through the Most High and not our people. I need y'all to hear where I'm going with this, because it all ties into Kyrie and brother Shaquille O'Neal. Okay, the brother put the video out, and you would think, okay, how many of y'all have been on Amazon Prime and have seen how much we are charged for a movie? Big movie networks like Warner Brothers, for instance. They have movies all out on Amazon Prime, Paramount, and all these places. Movies are $1.99, $2.99, $3.99, $4.99, maybe $8.99 for a new movie that's in the movie theater now. And yet, we're being charged $19.99 to watch a movie, a documentary, compiled of information that many of us have delivered for free. Same information that we have right here, we are giving away freely. We are now being charged. Brother Carlton Way says something very important. He said the brother Ronald Dalton, the director Ron, getting the bag from that $50 price he's charging. He probably became a millionaire overnight. Let me get straight to it. We're talking about marketing. How many of you, instead of asking the question, how many of you knew you were Hebrew Israelites before Kyrie went on his tirade? How many of you knew about the documentary, Hebrews to Negroes? I didn't know about it. How many of y'all knew about it before last week? I didn't know about it. Me personally, I didn't know. How come it's that whenever a company like African Ancestry comes along, they're charging us $200, $300 for us to take a DNA test? Companies like 23andMe are charging us $49, $59, $69. And African Ancestry claims to have the largest database of African connection to the continent. And how come it's that system, that program, is being steered toward the so-called African American demographic? How come the marketing of that DNA test is targeting us? Even though African Ancestry says that they can also test those of European descent. So they're a normal DNA testing company. It's just that they found a niche in targeting and exploiting the people, the only people on earth who do not know who we are. Why is that? And why is it that African Ancestry is the only DNA company which doesn't have a family finder? Okay? It doesn't have a family connecting aspect to its test, meaning that they claim they're not selling our DNA, but they also claim to have the largest database of DNA, but they will not connect us with our so-called family in Africa right now. Instead, they give us a maternal and paternal haplogroup, which is a bloodline, which denotes or leads us back to the continent of Africa. Okay? For instance, I have an uncle, my dad, one of my dad's brothers, took the African Ancestry test on behalf of all of us as an elder in the family. Okay? I was going to take it, but when I realized that my uncle would want to take it, and he's my elder, rest his soul, because he passed away before the result actually came through, he took the test. Doc has been out. My grandmother told me when I was a baby. The doc has been out since 2018. Okay, so you knew that you were a Hebrew Israelite before the documentary came out. But I'm asking you, how many people before Kyrie posted the link about the documentary knew that the documentary was in existence? Yes, we know it came out in 2018, but did you know it existed before last week? That's a question. Just think about it. It ain't no wrong answer. But the point is, not many people knew. African Ancestry gives us all sorts of DNA test results. My particular DNA test result through African Ancestry led my paternal bloodline back to the Bisa people of Burkina Faso. Okay? The Bisa people. Okay? Burkina Faso. Now, the interesting thing about this is I rented it and felt played, fam. Took 2 days to finish it because it was over 3 hours long, dry and redundant. I tried to screen record it, but Amazon wouldn't let me. Okay. Thank you for that input, brother. This is what I'm getting to. We are constantly being exploited as a people in order for us to get the truth. Now, this is what I found very interesting yesterday. wife and I talked about this, and this is when dots began to connect. Now, when you deal with the truth, you have to remember there are no coincidences. Now, hear me out, y'all. Why is it that Brother Kyrie Irving just posted a link about this documentary, right? That's an NBA player, right? Then about 4 or 5 days later, Shaquille O'Neal gets up there. He calls Kyrie an idiot for posting the link. They sit on there on that NBA show. I saw a clip of it. They sit on there on the NBA show. To be fair, okay, and this is why I didn't want to come across as a hater. Okay, but the thing about this is, brother, that documentary, as I've been watching it so far, that documentary ain't no different than the thousands of documentaries that we place on YouTube that we take our time to compile. And we take the iMovie, we take our Final Cut, and we take our, okay, has been putting out material for years. Yes, but my point is, how many of us knew about this documentary that is charged for $19 to $50 or whatever it is? I'm getting to my point. And I know we have to recoup investments and all of this sort of thing. But my point is, back to Proverbs chapter 23, buy the truth and sell it not. Our people are in a place and predicament where we need to be awakened. Okay? Now this isn't a tirade on the brother. That's why I said, please, please, family, don't get what I'm saying twisted, and don't think I'm hating on the brother. That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is we're still being exploited. And in this particular case, I'm putting the breadcrumbs together and I'm seeing some commonalities. I'm seeing two NBA players with massive platforms talk about this documentary in different ways. Now, this is where it gets funky. How many of y'all knew after Shaq made that statement about Kyrie being an idiot for sharing that link? Thank you, brother. How many of you knew that Shaq played and premiered the film in his Cityplex 12 theater in New Jersey when it first came out? How many of us have the opportunity to create a documentary and then have it played in a major movie theater? Not many of us. Not many of us. In order to do that, you have to know somebody. You have to know somebody in high places in order to get such a controversial film played in a major movie theater chain. Okay? So who does the brother know? Who does Brother Ronald Dalton know? Who does he know in high places that allowed him to get his movie played in a Shaquille O'Neal owned movie theater called Cityplex 12 in New Jersey? And who does he know that's in contact with Kyrie in order for Kyrie to just release a link and copy and paste a link? But that link just so happened to be to Brother Ronald Dalton's film. When there's literally hundreds of thousands of pieces of information spread from the Hebrew Israelite family in regards to this serious topic. There are links. The brother could have went to any, and we didn't know nothing about it. Right. My point is, brothers have been putting in the work for many, many decades for free. Why didn't Brother Kyrie Irving copy and paste one of those links where there was no economic tie to anything? Why did Shaq get on TV and act like he didn't know his theater chain premiered the film in 2018? I agree wholeheartedly. I agree wholeheartedly. Because through that copy and paste, and through that film, many of us who weren't privy to this information or didn't know about it was also now beginning to wake up as well. I agree. Our thoughts are not the Most High's thoughts. I agree with that wholeheartedly. I truly do. Things work out in very divine ways. I truly do. But yes, he was playing dumb. Shaq was playing dumb. This is my point, y'all. My point is, as we get on this walk, begin to find the truth, we have to do our best to cry loud. We have to figure out ways to deliver this truth in many different ways. From what I could tell from the documentary, it's a bunch of PowerPoint, a bunch of slides put together. I didn't really appreciate, and this isn't a review on the documentary because I'm not done, but I didn't appreciate how when the scriptures were being read, they were being read by a European man. And I said, man, where's Osby Davis when you need him? Where's James Earl Jones when you need him? Why we couldn't get the voice of a strong Hebrew Israelite brother to read the scriptures? Why are we having an audio clip from the Bible being read? Okay. Hey, welcome, family. Thank you for joining us. Why are we having an audio clip of the scriptures that's being read by European man being shared on the Hebrew Israelite movie and documentary? Okay. All of these things make me wonder what is actually going on behind the scenes. And you want to know what happened? We're talking about a major financial play at the very, very least, because the attention has been placed on this documentary. Many people are buying it, many people are talking about it, and many people are renting it. And that was a huge marketing play. Okay. And we see that the brother at least knows two NBA players. Okay. He knows two NBA players. Now, I don't know if the brother Ronald Dalton is a Freemason or not. And maybe that's something y'all could look into. But when we start talking about fraternal brotherhood outside of Hebrew Israelitism, we have to look at something very peculiar because nothing happens by coincidence. I was able to do a little due diligence into the brother the past few days. And one thing that I noticed about what he presents is he has some information pertaining to how he looks and feels about the chariots of the Most High. Have y'all been noticing chemtrails lately? I mean, a bunch of chemtrails. This might seem like I'm changing the subject, but I'm not. Have y'all noticed the amount of chemtrails in the sky lately? Well, I noticed that the brother, and I don't want this to be a form of division either. I just have to speak on it. I noticed that some of the brother's content is in regards to him trying to sway us away from the truth about the Most High and the Most High's chariots. Okay? Yes, we stay focused on the Most High. We use these distractions in order to prove the point and truth of the Most High. Right? I noticed that the brother's trying to sway Israel away from the truth of the chariots. And I had to say, well, if he's swaying the people from the truth of the Most High returning with the chariots, in a sense, that is a form of misinformation almost in line with what the government is saying in regards to the chariots, in regards to the so-called UFOs. And I've been noticing an increase in chemtrails over the past 3 days. I've also been noticing an increase in the dialogue. The issues were the ones promoting the book at the end of the documentary. I haven't gotten to that part of the documentary yet. So I'll check that out. Thank you for bringing that out. So there's some back end deals cut in regards to that. Okay. And so I've only got to the second or so chapter in that documentary. But so far, there's been many eye rolling moments. Made me recall Proverbs chapter 23, verse 23. And so far as I've looked at the documentary, that documentary could have easily been one. It's 2, 3 hours. I've had live streams longer than the documentary. So my point is, that documentary could have easily been released to the children of Israel, who it was targeted for, without a price on it. Now, each his own. Each his own. But all I'm going to say is, I see something behind the scenes that's adding up to a good financial play. Okay. And we are constantly being exploited. When that truth, we should be the first ones. We should be the first ones to get the truth for free. Because that truth was stripped from us. That truth was taken from us. But yet, we have to go all around the world and we have to pay exorbitant amounts of money in order to get a truth that other people are concealing from us, hiding from us, keeping from us. We have to pay a price and a cost to receive it. So that was always something that caused my antennas to go up, caused me to think deeper about who we really are. And people are going about this in a sense, and I'm talking about those of us who know the truth. It's getting to the point where exploitation is at an all-time high as well. Okay. Now, you don't have to buy the documentary. You don't have to rent it. Or you could rent it, or you could buy it. It's up to you. You want to hold it and have it as more proof of receipt. You want to take screenshots of the information that's presented. That's your prerogative. But I will say this. So far, everything that has been presented in that documentary is on thousands of YouTube channels right now for free. Okay? So, where's Judah? What's really going on? Where's Judah? The Most High tells us in the book of Ezekiel, chapter 3, verse 27, but when I speak with you, I open your mouth, and you shall say to them, thus saith the Master Yahweh, he who hears, let him hear, and he who refuses, let him refuse, for they are a rebellious house. Sister, I'm not, and I'm glad for your walk, first of all. But if you haven't seen it or you have seen it, it's okay. I promise I'm not hating on the brother. I'm just seeing some very peculiar activity pertaining that particular documentary. Why is it that the documentary is costing so much? I could see if it was $1.99, $2.99, every Hebrew can get it. Every Israelite can grab that. Why would it cost so much? Why would it cost so much for us to rent or buy when we are the topic of the subject? How come African ancestry, out of all of the DNA tests, costs so much when we are the ones who need it? Why, when we get the truth, we end up having more questions and we have to buy into another level? We have to pay for something else. We have to pay for something else. You have those of us who are truly adhering to the word, we invest in it, and then we have to come back and bring it out for free. We have to depend on the Most High's grace to provide for us and continue us on. And I love that life. I love that life. Okay? I love to be on that side of the fence. But what I'm saying is, I find it very strange. It just so happens that two high profile NBA players are involved. Two high profile NBA players are involved with the marketing of this documentary. And I find that very strange. And that's what hit my conscience. And then the fact that the price of it is so high in the throes of this marketing that, let's see, since 2018, 19, 20, 21, 22, 4 years worth of planning to market this documentary that's been out since 2018 that the majority of us didn't even know about until a week ago, I find to be very strange. Okay. And so that's what I'm talking about. Where is Judah? The other day, we read from the book of Zechariah. We read from Zechariah 13, verses 8 and 9. And it shall be throughout all the soil, declares Yahweh, that two-thirds therein are cut off and die, and one-third is left therein. And I shall bring the third into fire and refine them as silver is refined, and try them as gold is tried. They shall call on my name, and I shall answer them. I shall say, this is my people. While they say, Yahuwah is my Elohim. That's the book of Zechariah, chapter 13, verses 8 to 9. we're going to compare that scripture, okay, to the book of Ezekiel. And we're going to go to the book of Ezekiel, chapter 5, because we need to figure out where Judah is right now. But before we do that, we're going to go to Ezekiel chapter 3, verse 17 on down, which reads, Son of man, I have made you a watchman for the house of Yasharallah, the house of Israel. And you shall hear a word from my mouth, and shall warn them from me. Right now, our calling as men of Israel is to wake up our people and to warn them about what is coming. In doing so, as we warn our people and we cry aloud and spare not, as we reveal the transgression and sin to the house of Judah and Israel, in regards to our people turning our backs on the Most High, turning our backs to the law, statutes, and commands of the Most High, there will be Gentile nations who hear this and get curious as well and want to wake up to the truth as well. When I say to the wrong, you shall certainly die, and you have not warned him, nor spoken to warn the wrong from his way, to save his life, that same wrong man shall die in his crookedness, and his blood I will require at your hand. See, if us men of Israel don't get out here, and we don't buy the truth, and we don't learn the truth, and we don't then share the truth to our brothers and sisters who are living in wrong, who are living in sin, who are transgressing right now the law, statutes, and commands of the Most High, that man, that woman will die in their sin, in their transgression of the law. But that blood will be on the hands of the men of Israel who knew the truth and did not share it. Okay? Listen carefully. But if you have warned the wrong, this is verse 19 of Ezekiel chapter 3. But if you have warned the wrong, and he does not turn from his wrong, nor from his wrong way, he shall die in his crookedness, and you have delivered your being. And when a righteous one turns from his righteousness, and shall do unrighteousness, when I put a stumbling block before him, he shall die. Because you did not warn him, he shall die in his sin, and his righteousness, which he has done, is not remembered. His blood I require at your hand. But if you have warned the righteous one that the righteous should not sin, and he did not sin, he shall certainly live, because he has been warned, and you have delivered your being. And the hand of Yahuwah came upon me there, and he said to me, Arise, go out into the plain, so that I might speak to you there. So I got up, and I went into the plain, and see, the esteem of Yahuwah stood there, like the esteem which I saw by the river Kebar. And I fell on my face. The Spirit entered me and set me on my feet and spoke with me and said to me, Go, shut yourself inside your house. And you, O son of man, see, they shall put cords on you and bind you with them, so that you do not go out in their midst. And I make your tongue stick to the roof of your mouth, so that you shall be dumb and not be a reprover to them, for they are a rebellious house. But when I speak with you, I open your mouth, and you shall say to them, Thus saith the Master Yahweh. He who hears, let him hear. He who refuses, let him refuse, for they are a rebellious house. One of the first ways you will know you are dealing with Judah is because you will be dealing with a hard-headed, stiff-necked, and rebellious people. You will be dealing with the people who will be clamoring for the laws and statutes and judicial power of other nations, who will refuse to deal with the law, statutes, and commands given through Moshe to us as the children of Israel. You will be dealing with a people who are quick to run into the ways of the world, who are quick to run into the ways of the societies and the captivities that we have been placed in, the nations that we have been placed into. But you will also be seeing a stiff-necked people who will refuse to wake up to the truth of who we are, who will refuse to wake up to the reasons why we are where we are, who will be quick to march and riot and proclaim that they want new laws created, proclaim that we need to be into politics in this country, proclaim that we need to be the senators and the congressmen and even the president of this United States in order to effectuate change, instead of the truth that as long as we are in the places of our captivity, we will continue to be oppressed. We will continue to be trodden down underfoot. We will continue to have the oppressor's foot on our neck because we refuse to adhere to the law, statutes, and commands of the Most High. A couple days ago, we did the study that 2/3 of our people will die. 2/3 of our people will not make it. Our people will be passed under the rod of the Most High when we are gathered from the four corners of the world and are placed again into the wilderness after the second and greater exodus that our people are going to experience. It's going to be an exodus greater than the one that happened when our people were taken from Kemet, because our people, when we were in Kemet, were all together. We were unified as one people. So when we were taken, it was only a placement of us being taken from one region into another. But now we have been scattered to the four corners of the world. Where's Judah? Judah is all over the world wherever we have been taken into captivity. Primarily, though, in the Western Hemisphere, North, Central, South America, and the Caribbean islands. Judah is also in Europe. Judah is also in Western Africa, still to this day. So when we ask where is Judah, how do we know who Judah is? Judah is quick to run closer to the captor, excuse me. Judah today is more inclined to live in antithesis to the Most High's law, statutes, and commands. We read in Ezekiel chapter 5, and you, son of man, take a sharp sword, take it as a barber's razor. You shall pass it over your head and your beard. You shall take scales to weigh and divide the hair. Cross-reference that to Zechariah chapter 13, verse 8. Okay? And Isaiah chapter 19, verses 23 through 25. Burn with fire 1/3 in the midst of the city, when the days of the siege are completed. And you shall take 1/3 and strike around it with the sword. Scatter 1/3 in the wind, and I shall draw out a sword after them. And you shall take a few hairs from there and bind them in the edge of your garment. And take again some of them, and throw them into the midst of the fire, and burn them in the fire. A fire shall spread unto all the house of Israel. Thus said the Master Yahweh, this is Jerusalem, which I have set in the midst of the nations, with the other lands all around her. Ezekiel chapter 38, verse 12. Let me go to that real quick. Where is Judah? Let's start at verse 11. And you shall say, let me go up against a land of unwalled villages. Let me go to those at rest who dwell safely, all of them dwelling without walls and having neither bars nor gates, to take plunder and to take booty, and to stretch out your hand against the waste places that are again inhabited, and against a people gathered from the peoples, acquiring livestock and goods, who dwell in the middle of the land. Our people are in the midst of the nations right now. Everywhere we go, everywhere we see ourselves, we are in a place that is surrounded by other nations of people. They call this country that we live in America, the United States of America, the great melting pot. Every single nation, this is how we know who Judah is. Every single nation who makes up the melting pot of this country knows who they are. The Chinese know who they are. The Russians know who they are. The East Indian, Hindustani people know who they are. The Pakistani people know who they are. The Japanese know who they are. Who else do we have? The European, the Germans, the French, the English, the British, the Irish know who they are. The Filipinos know who they are. Every single nation who makes up the melting pot of this country knows who they are, except for the one nation of people who built this nation up and who was enslaved in this nation. The one nation out of this great melting pot who doesn't know who they are the true Judeans, the true Yahudim, the true Jews, the true children of Israel. We are the only ones who don't know who we are. If you ask a group of people, who are the people, what country do the people who speak Chinese belong to? They can tell you China. What country do the people who speak Russia belong to? They'll tell you Russia. What country do the people who speak English, the natural native born speakers of English, belong to? They'll tell you England. What country do the natural born French speakers belong to? They'll tell you France. What country do the people who speak German, natural born speakers of German, what country do they belong to? They'll tell you Germany. What speakers who speak Tagalog, what country do they belong to? They'll tell you the Philippines, and so on and so forth. What country do so-called African Americans who speak Ebonics, which is a form of English, belong to? And all we can say is black. But last time I checked, black is not a country. There's no land or region, no matter what map you look at, that has a country named black. Not a one. So where is Judah today? We just read in Ezekiel chapter 5, verse 5. Thus saith the Master Yahweh, this is Jerusalem. This is Jerusalem, which I have set in the midst of the nations, the other lands, with the other lands all around her. All around her. Verse 6. But she rebelled against my right rulings. You see? This is not conjecture. When we get up here and we say the reasons for our enslavement, as the true Jews, we have to remember that to be a Jew means you descend from the tribe, from the son of Judah. Okay? From Judah, the son of Israel, excuse me. To be a true Jew means that you descend from Judah, the fourth-born son of Jacob. Okay? All Israelites are not Jews. Only those who descend through Judah are Jews. Okay? Audio has been going in and out. Okay, they messing with us. They messing with the feed. I couldn't even tell. Thank you for bringing that to my attention. Is there something you need me to stay over, brother? Is there something that you need me to repeat? If there's something that y'all need me to repeat, I don't mind repeating it. If you remember the last thing I said before the audio broke off, I can repeat what I said. Thank you for bringing that to my attention. We rebelled. Verses 5 through 6. But she rebelled against my right rulings, doing wrong, more than the nations, and my laws, more than the lands all around her. You see, as true Jews, we have been placed in the midst of nations that did not seek to do the ways of the Most High. We, out of all of the nations, were called to be the stewards of the law, statutes, and commands in this realm. We, out of all the nations, were chosen and set apart by the Most High in order to deliver the word of truth. It just goes lower than normal. Okay, please excuse me for that. That's why I have to increase the amplitude of my voice as well. We have been chosen out of all the nations on the earth in order to be stewards of the word of the Most High. our nation and to the other nations. We rebelled against, say, what the scriptures say in verse 6, Ezekiel 5. But she rebelled against my right rulings, doing wrong more than the nations, and my laws more than the lands all around her. For they have rejected my right rulings, and they have not walked in my laws. This is the reason we've been dispersed to the four corners of the world, right there. And if you want to know who Judah is, all you have to do is look to all of those who were carried away captive, four corners of the world. The Israelite family was carried away captive as well. But when you look at those of us who are still living in rebellion, refusing to adhere to the law, statutes, and commands of the Most High, you can immediately identify those people with also being those who were put into bondage with a yoke of iron around their neck and enslaved. Listen to this. Therefore, thus saith the Master Yahweh, because you have rebelled more than the nations all around you, and have not walked in my laws, nor done my right rulings, nor even done according to the right rulings of the nations all around you. Therefore, thus saith the Most High Yahweh, I myself am against you, and shall execute judgments in your midst before the eyes of the nations. And I shall do among you what I have never done. Okay? Listen carefully. And I shall do among you what I have never done, and the like of which I never do again, because of all your abominations. This is something that the Most High has never done in the history of man. Never has a nation of people been spread to the four corners of the world to be made vagabonds, to be trodden down by the nations of the places where we have been spread captive, spread into captivity. This is another way we can identify that we are the true Israelites that the Bible speaks on. Because no other group of people have ever been put in this form of chastisement ever before. Those people who are calling themselves Jews now, those so-called Israeli people, they do not have a history that aligns up with the scriptures in this sense of the word. They descend from Central and Southeastern Europe. They do not even have a rightful claim to the bloodline of Shem, because they descend from the bloodline of Japheth. They descend from Japheth's son Gomer. They are of the son of Ashkenaz. Ashkenaz in the Hebrew means Germanic or Germany. Ashkenazim means the people of Germany. Okay, let's continue. Verse 10, therefore, fathers are going to eat their sons in your midst, and sons eat their fathers. And I shall execute judgments among you, and scatter all your remnant to all the winds. Therefore, as I live, declares the Most High Yahweh, because you have defiled my set apart place with all your disgusting matters, and with all your abominations, therefore I also withdraw, and my eyes shall not pardon, nor shall I spare. 1/3 of you shall die of pestilence, and be consumed with scarcity of food in your midst, and 1/3 shall fall by the sword all around you. And I shall scatter another third to all the winds, and draw out a sword after them. And my displeasure shall be completed, and I shall bring my wrath to rest upon them, and I shall be eased. And they shall know that I, Yahweh, have spoken it in my Ador, in my Arger, when I have completed my wrath upon them. Back to Zechariah chapter 13:8, reference point. Y'all write that down. And I shall make you a waste and a reproach among the nations that are all around you, before the eyes of all who pass by. And it shall be a reproach, an object of scorn, a warning, and an astonishment to the nations that are all around you. When I execute judgments among you in displeasure, and in wrath, and in heated chastisements, I have spoken. When I send against them the evil arrows of scarcity of food, which shall be for their destruction, which I send to destroy you, I shall increase the scarcity of food among you and cut off your supply of bread. And I shall send against you scarcity of food and evil beasts, and they shall bereave you, and pestilence and blood shall pass through you. When I bring the sword against you, I Yahweh have spoken. Scarcity of food and of bread is talking about none other than the bread of life, the word of the Most High. That scarcity of food and bread is talking about the day that we would forget who we were and made to forget who we were and would not have access to the truth any longer and would not have access to the word. When that word of our people, when that word of the Most High, as written on the scrolls in our original tongues, would be taken from us and transposed and translated into tongues of the nations which we would not know and understand. And they would be given the opportunity to read our writings back to us. And we wouldn't know how to decipher that word for ourselves in a new language after our original tongues were taken from us and stripped from us, and our cultures was taken from us. And it would be re-taught to us in ways that go against or antithesized ways we did not know nothing about until a time such as today when the truth would go to the four corners of the world and we would be waking up to the truth. I need y'all to hear that. I'm going to read Zechariah again. Y'all bear with me. As a matter of fact, before I do that, let me take a quick sip of water. Thank y'all for joining this live stream. Zechariah chapter 14, verses 1 on down. See, a day shall come for Yahweh, and your spoil shall be divided in your midst. And I shall gather all the nations to battle against Jerusalem, and the city shall be taken. The house is plundered, and the women ravished. Half of the city shall go into exile, but the remnant of the people shall not be cut off from the city. And Yahweh shall go forth, he shall fight against those nations, as he fights in the day of battle. Right now, we have a small remnant of our people in Demona, Israel, right now. Okay? A small remnant of our people were able to make it back into the outskirts of the land. And there they live right now. Those of our people who made the journey and were blessed in that trek from Chicago, San Francisco, Florida, from other places in the East Coast, New York, who made it into Demona back in the 60s and 70s. I say the 70s, and made it there. And have increased in number since then. But it is still a small remnant compared to the many of us who have scattered across the four corners of the world. But one thing I want to say, regardless, and one of our sisters, I believe it's one of our sisters, said something, and I want to make a point of this. The Most High separating the wheat and tares. Stay focused on the Most High. That's correct. Soulfully sowing seeds. One more statement. I gotta find it. Yes, the Most High is using all of us for His divine purpose. I want to say this. happening, but I can hear. Oh, okay. I want to say this. We don't know the effect of any documentaries any of us will put out. We don't know the effect that the Most High is going to use any of us for while we are in the throes and in the moments of doing it. That's why, again, I have to say, I am not hating on our brother, Ronald Dalton. Instead, I'm not hating. Instead, what I'm doing is really looking at some behind the scenes plays that, because we don't deal with coincidences, they're actually happening. And it's taking forth. Okay? It's coming forth as some sort of opportunity for us to wake up again. I don't think any of us would have known that 2022 would be such a tumultuous year in the awakening process for our people. But over the last week, more so-called African American people, more so-called people of wherever they have been put, our people have been put into captivity, have now waken up to the potentiality and to the idea that we are the children of Israel, more so than ever. And more so than ever, we have seen those nations who have conspired against us doing whatever they can to keep us deaf, dumb, and blind. So all praises must go to the Most High for working that great work. If I get up here and I spew hatred and disgust for anything that has been extended through our brethren, through our sister, then I am in turn hating the divine will of the Most High. If I am getting angry at the Gentile nations and the nations for suppressing the truth, for keeping the truth away from us for so long, then I'm hating the divine will of the Most High. So I have to make that statement as well. That's why we say this game is thick, y'all. It's so complex. The complexities of what we've all been put through. And that's why I agree with that statement. We must continue to focus on the Most High when it's all said and done. Okay? Let me continue. And Yahuwah shall go forth, and he shall fight against those nations as he fights in the day of battle. The reason that the Gentile nations are rising up so tough right now, trying to get our people who did never know this truth focused on the distraction and not focused on looking deeper into the statements that are being made in regards to our true ancestry, is because, again, once we wake up worldwide, and once that waking up moves us into the next level of realizing why we were put into bondage in the first place. And then once we can identify that the reason we were placed into bondage has everything to do with our own rebelliousness as a people, we will stop the consumerism overnight. We will stop focusing on all of those athletic and sports distractions overnight. We will stop focusing on the materialism overnight. And as a worldwide community gathered to the four corners of the world, we will drop to our knees and lift our hands in prayer and supplication. We will cry out to the Most High as a people in unity and seek the face of the Most High and seek the mercy and forgiveness of the Most High. And our hearts will be rended. Our hearts will be torn to the ways of this world. And we will begin to focus on the law, statutes, and commands again. And we will all be moving in one accord in zeal back to the Most High, seeking to do the will of the Most High again. And we will seek the Most High's forgiveness. And the Most High will turn his face unto us, and we will be forgiven. And the healing of our people will truly take place. And that is when the Most High will fight for us. We always look for a military to fight for us. We always look to ourselves to march through the street and to riot and to fight for us. But here we realize that this is a spiritual battle that has extended into the physical realm, and we do not have the power to fight certain aspects of this battle, physically and spiritually, and that we need to depend on the power of the Most High, the wisdom of the Most High. That means that we need to turn unto the Most High and wait for the Most High to deliver the recompense unto the nations that have fought against us. The only way we can do that is by banding together again, not focusing on the legislative system of the United States, not focusing on the voting and the as I say that, a beautiful deer. Oh, look at that buck, y'all. I wish y'all could see. They might call that a 12-point buck, y'all. It's right here on my property. All right, that's a beautiful sign, y'all. This deer has antlers that are humongous, y'all. I had a vision about this. That a deer like that would run across my face. Listen, let me see if I can show y'all this deer. I don't know if y'all can see him, but he's right there. Let me hold this focus. He's right there walking. Do y'all see that body walking right there on the screen? He's beautiful. A white-tailed deer, y'all. Wow, what a beautiful sight. All praises to the Most High. This is my point, y'all. We have to leave. We have to leave the ideas of connecting with Babylon alone. And what we have to do, leave back unto the law, statutes, and commands of the Most High, so the Most High can be true in His word and fight for us. And the people, the Gentiles, know that once we do that, it's game over for them. It always goes back to game over for them. It always goes back to once we wake up as a people, they can no longer have power over us. They can no longer domineer over us. They can no longer exploit us. Okay? And I think above anything, that's the part that I'm troubled with. Now, when it comes to the documentary that we are talking about, okay, that's the part that's kind of troubling. And there's a point to it where it's out of my control, it's out of my hands. I just seen it for what it is, from what I can see and ascertain that has been revealed to me. But the truth of the matter is, we don't know what the Most High have in store as far as how the truth is going to be dispersed. We just know that the truth is going to get out there. Okay. But to all the brothers and sisters who have invested into the truth, into trying to identify it, into looking for it, into working diligently, as we read in Ezekiel chapter 4, doing everything in our power to wake up our brothers and our sisters, getting that blood off of our hands, doing everything that we could. Shout out to you. Shout out to you. All praises to the Most High for using you in such a magnificent way, for using you in a way where you can use your gifts and your talents for the true and living, eternal master, so that you wouldn't be held accountable for the blood of your loved ones, of your people, when they are killed for not adhering to the law, statutes, and commands. I wanted to continue the two-thirds narrative because two-thirds of our people, unfortunately, are not going to make it, y'all. And this should be another sign and another opportunity for you to dig deeper for yourself in the truth so that you can do whatever it takes. Of course, when I say that, I'm talking about righteously in the walk of righteousness. Whatever it takes in the walk of righteousness to wake up our people so that all of us have the opportunity to make that final choice with our free will. A lot of us are not going to make the choices that it takes that we need to make in order to wake our people up. A lot of us are not going to take the opportunity once we are presented with the truth to wake up. Misuse and betrayal from your own house is one of the deepest hurts to overcome. Yes, Mama Carolyn, you are truly right about that. And let's just pray. are no nefarious intent involved. Brother Abraham got on here and he made a statement that I find to be very telling. When he said, I found it odd too, the issues were the ones promoting the book at the end of the documentary. So there must be some Jewish people, so called Jewish people, at the end of this documentary who are helping to promote the book. But I thought that the book and the documentary was filled with anti-Semitism. Why would so-called Jewish people be presenting it? Well, once again, our ways are not the ways of the Most High. So we don't know exactly what the end game is for this particular segment of our of this season of living, seeing this unfold before us. Okay, the Most High works in strange and mysterious ways. Okay, so we don't really know. But I will say this: when it comes to the exploitation of our people, we have to be very careful. For instance, I have a book. I recently, released my book, right? So I'm not familiar with releasing products. Okay, my book is more of a testimonial of my life, though. Okay, and the reason I'm just gonna give y'all a piece of my business mind. The reason I charge the price that I charge for the hard copy, physical paperback copy of my book, is due to the resources it takes physically to create the book. One, but that's not even it. I charge what I charge and price the book how I priced it so that I can actually cut and slash the price, okay? And the price, once it's cut and slashed, will appear to be a great bargain and great deal to purchase the book. Okay. So if the book is originally priced at one price point, and that price point seems to be expensive, I can slash the price and then lower it to a price point that is not perceptually expensive. See? But the thing about my book is that my book is not a compilation of the truth from biblical and scriptural and archaeological perspectives. It is a compilation of the years and days of my life's truth as a young Hebrew Israelite man in this society. Okay, I share a ton of scriptures in that book, ideas and ways of living that have helped me get to the point where I am right now. But it is not a book detailing our history. It's not a book detailing the suppression of truth in regards to our people. Okay, so it's a different form of truth. It's a personal truth. Now, all of my content, all of the hours of studies that I put out, all of the different pieces of information that I have gathered throughout the years, I put that on my website. I got scripture.com. I put that on my website. As a matter of fact, all of my studies, if you didn't know this, that are on the Gatekeepers Ministry channel, you can download for free. YouTube makes you charge to be able to download videos. You can download my studies, all 27 of them, hours long, each study, from 30 minutes to 3 hours to 4 hours long studies. You can download them for free on scripture.com. And from what I could tell, watching the documentary so far, all of what's in that documentary has already been presented in many of our lessons. Okay. So once again, I'm not knocking nobody, but I'm just the scriptures themselves tell us buy the truth and sell it not. So once a price point gets put on the truth, whether it's from our people or not, I have to try to wonder what's the goal? What's the purpose for that? Okay. What's the purpose for that? And this is where the water could get murky because each of us have a different calling over our life. Each of us have a different um relation with the Most High in regards to the truth and how we received it and how we are to dispense it. Each of us have a different calling placed onto our heart. You know what I mean? And so that's why I said, like they say back in the hood, don't hate the player, hate the game. And so just know, y'all, I know that this is a touchy subject on that level, but what's happening, positive level outside of that, is that more and more people are indeed waking up to the truth. More and more people are at least waking up to this idea, seeing that, whoa, if such and such that's so high profile is talking about this, maybe there's something to it. Okay. But when I see two high profile individuals playing the hero and the heel, and both of them are on the same side, my antennas immediately shoot up. And one of them actually premieres the film in their own movie theater. I'm like, hey, now, who does this brother actually know in them high places to present that movie, Cineplex system? You know. So, hey, to each his own, and the Most High know the truth. But listen, y'all, I see we have another evening where it is getting darker outside. All that fall, back, spring, forward stuff. I wish they would just keep the time how it is. I don't be liking none of it. Playing with the times. But we read about that in the book of Daniel, where the times will be manipulated, the days will be manipulated, and this is no different than that. Okay, this is no different than that. But there are many statements that I said in this live stream. If anything that I said strikes your fancy in a certain way, and you want to speak about it further, and you want to talk about it further, your brother True Jew is here to speak on it. You know, I don't seek to offend anyone, and I don't seek to hate on anyone. My whole objective, though, is to dig deep into the truth. And whenever there's something, and to protect our people to the best of my potentiality. And when there's something that strikes me as odd, or makes my antennas raise, and makes my gut turn, and makes my intuition kick on, well, then I got to speak on it. And so that's what I do. That's what I do. That's what I've been on, and that's what I'm gonna keep on being on. You know. And so I thank y'all for joining this live stream today. I thank y'all for participating with it today. There's more to this particular study that I have to bring out still. It's getting dark right now, and I'm not able to see the letters on the pages of these scriptures. But I have more that I want to bring out. So I thank y'all for helping me run up the algorithm on this live stream. I thank y'all for rocking with me today. We going live. Thank you for everybody who was able to catch the live stream today. Your support and your love, your light is truly appreciated. You know, when two lights or more get together, the light only increases. So let our lights increase today, and let the Most High receive all of the glory. Blessings to all of y'all this evening. I hope that you are rested up from your day at work. If you went into work today, I hope that you were able to be blessed and covered, highly favored. May a divine hedge of protection continue to be established around you. May your food this evening be blessed, both spiritual and physical. May your roof be strengthened. May your home, may the soil that you stand upon be firm. May your sleep, may your sleep be restful, and may you have good, sweet dreams, visions of the Most High, visions of what's to come, prophetic visions, and may you be able to make sense of those visions and write them down and record them and marinate on them further. May your families, wherever they are in the land, be covered as well. May we all be awakened to the truth of the Most High, to the truth of the scriptures, the Torah, the Tanakh, the Holy Scriptures. May we be brought into truth in this great day that we are living in, and may we continue to see the signs all around us. Okay? May we continue to see the signs. All right. Look and study the truth for yourself. Let your brother, true Jew, and others like myself just be way showers. Okay. Let me be a way shower. Let me prove myself. Let me show myself approved by the study that has been extended to me to be able to undertake. And let me not speak a false word against my brother or my sister. but let me stand in truth and in righteousness. All right. This your bro True Jew tapping in with y'all. You know I love you to life. You know, as always, I want you to stay blessed, stay vigilant. Most High, Papa Will, and that's the Most High Father, Ruach HaKodesh. May I continue to deliver this word of truth to the best of my ability. And until then, till next time, gone.